Yeah, sure. Give me a thumbs up, like, subscribe. Okay, it's old already. Okay, an isosceles triangle has a peak angle of 76. So knowing that it's isosceles, if this is 76 up here, they want to know these ones. So you can call it A and B if you'd like. They're both the same. So angle A is simply 180 minus the 76 divided by 2, right? Make sure that the top is in brackets, and you get 52 degrees. Or you go 180 minus 76 minus, wait a minute. Yeah, it's good. Sorry, it's good. Scratch what I was saying. This is how you do it, right? The peak is 76, and then so you just go minus 76, split that in half. So 52, 52. What is the size of one interior angle of a regular nonagon? I get it that some of you probably didn't know. It's 9, right? So now you know. I will give you the prefixes and the number of sides today. Okay, that was supposed to be on the video, and it was at the end, but you were all like, what's happening here, right? So that's okay. So interior angle, that means they're calling for this. So the interior angle of a 9-sided polygon is 9 minus 2 times 180 divided by 9, right? Which is 7 times 180 divided by 9. And that's 140 degrees. Okay. So if you don't have time to write this down, at least write down the correct answer. This, number 3, each of the interior angles of a regular polygon is 150. How many sides does that one have? Tricky, super hard. 12. Did you do guess and check? Yeah, so that's not going to work on the test, right? So here it is. This is how you do it. Okay, so write this down and add this to your notes, right? So first of all, do you remember that the exterior, interior, what did they add up to? 180, okay? That property is always handy. Because why is this going to be handy? Well, let me tell you, there are two formulas here. The interior angle would be n minus 2 times 180 divided by n. And what's the formula for exterior angle? Yeah, which one is scarier? Scarier looking. This one, right? A lot more going on. So I always tend to favor this one, right? Because it's a lot simpler. So this is my trick, watch. So the interior angle, so if I is equal to 150, right? What's the exterior angle going to be like? 180 minus 150, because I just told you that that's an important formula. From here, I get that. So the exterior angle is 30 degrees. Park it, you're going to need that. Does that make sense so far, what I just did? Okay, now I'm going to solve. The exterior angle is 360 divided by n. I know the exterior angle. I plug it in here. So I'm going to go 30 degrees is equal to 360 over n. And what does this look like right now? This is chapter 8, remember cross multiplying and dividing? Yeah, it's a long time, right? So you put the 1 under here, it's just a trick. It doesn't change the 30. 30 is still 30. So you cross, did I give you the shortcut in chapter 8 or no? 360, you cross multiply and divide. Did I give you the shortcut or no? Gabriel is saying yes, so okay. I trust you, Gabriel. 360 times 1 divided by 30. And when you divide, you're going to get, you get 12. I hope so. You get 12 sides. Yeah, you do. That's the best way to do it, in my opinion. I can show you how to use this, and I probably will in the notes, but it's a lot more work because you got to get rid of that n, you got to get rid of the n minus 2 in the brackets. So find the exterior given the interior, then use this formula and find the 12 sides. Okay, what's the sum of the interior angles of a hexagon? That one you should have known, right? 6, n is equal to 6. So sum of 6 is just 6 minus 2 times 180, and that's 720 degrees. Okay. Sum of a 6-sided polygon, regardless if it's regular or irregular, it is going to be 720. And the reason I'm saying that is because it's going to come in handy later. Okay, given the hexagon to the right, what's the measure of x? So they want this angle here. How would I do that? Well, sum of this hexagon I know is 720. I just calculated that. So to find x, right, in degrees, I'm just going to go 720 minus 120 minus 90. This one is a 90 here. It's basically the same thing as a triangle, right? If you know 2 out of the 3, you can find a third. You know all of them except for 1. So you're going to go minus 110, minus 130, minus 160. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. And that is going to be 110 degrees. Does that make sense? Where did I get the 720 from? In this case, I got it from up here, but you should be able to do that like this. You count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, it's a hexagon. I'm going to use the sum of interior angles formula to figure out what the total should be, and then I will subtract the ones I know to give me the one that's left over. Is the hexagon to the right a regular? I don't know what happened there. It's supposed to say a regular polygon. Is it regular? No. Why not? It fails both tests, right? The angles. Well, you just as soon as it fails one of them, you're done, right? Not regular. Fails the all angles must be congruent test. Okay. Or you can say it has to have all angles the same and all sides the same. But it fails the angles test, so no further discussion on that. What is the sum of exterior angles for this hexagon? Oh, you remember that. Way to go, guys. What about a 125-sided polygon? What about a 212? Okay, got it. Are they always going to be the same? For this one, every single exterior angle would be different. Because watch, if you extend this side, this would be 50. This would be, okay, got it. But they add up to 360 still. That doesn't change. Okay? You guys are smart. You're smarter than you think. Scotiabank. Anyways, remember that when you watch a movie, it's always there. True and false. Lines A, B, and C, D are parallel. It would be false because alternate interior angles must be, or are not congruent. Yeah. Sorry. They must be congruent, but they're not, right? Are not congruent. Okay, good. A, B, and C, D are parallel lines. EH is a transversal. What's the size of EFB? So EFB, so they're asking for this right here. And so how would you do that? You could probably find this here, right? This is DGF. is going to be 180 minus 54. And so that is 126, sorry. And so once you have this 126 here, you can say that angle EFB is 126, and you say that corresponding angles are congruent. I didn't really ask you to explain, right? So it's okay in this case, but most of the time I will. Another way of doing this would have been to use alternate exterior angles here, right? These are alternate exterior. You find this, and then use the straight angle property here. Right? This would be straight angle. All right, PQ and RS are parallel, so that's denoted already. This one was probably a bit of a challenging question, perhaps. But here's the trick for this one. So I want you to use your knowledge, right? These two are corresponding, correct? That's my approach here. What would this angle be? This would be 180 minus x plus 12, wouldn't it? Would you agree with that statement that I just made there? What are these two? Corresponding, right? So corresponding angles would be congruent. That therefore 180 minus x plus 12, right? This here, this angle that I just rewrote will be the same thing as 3x plus 48. And I know there are other ways of doing this, but this is my way, okay? And now you have to be very careful. I haven't done one like these before. The negative distributes. So it's negative 1 times x, which is negative x. Negative 1 times 12 is negative 12. So that's 3x plus 48. I bring all the x's over to one side. So negative x, the 3x comes over subtracting. And on that side, I have the 48 already. The 12 comes over adding. The 180 comes over subtracting. This gives me negative 4x. And that gives me a 120 negative, right? Because this is 60. Yeah. Divide both sides by negative 4. And that's 30 degrees. It just asks for x in this case, so that's it. Done. All right. Pack this in your notes, okay? Put this in your notes, part of lesson. Crash course. And then take out your notes, and then we'll continue with polygons. I hope that you tried the textbook questions, and you know how I assigned you know how I assigned from this booklet, right? The key, I reposted it. I got some students saying, yeah, it works. You could have done these without the video, quite a few of them without the video. It gets more complicated towards the end when it talks about polygons. So my advice is go back and do this, as well as any textbook stuff that I've assigned. Okay, so I will just quickly give you the prefixes and the number of sides. And don't take up too much room in your study sheet for, but tri is 3, quad is 4, penta is 5, hexa is 6, hepta is 7, octa is 8, sorry, nona is 9, deca is 10, and 11, it got dodeca. 11 got, I don't know what happened with 11. It's just 11-sided. I'm sure there's a name for it out there, but I'll just expect you to know these ones. And after that, it's just, after that, it's n-sided polygon. Okay. We're good? Okay. More examples here. The sum of interior angles of a polygon is 3,060 degrees. Determine the number of sides. Show work. You can't get away with guess and check. It's a method. I mean, why not, right? Like if you want to try it, it's like, does my answer even make sense, right? Okay. So if this is true, then start with a formula, right? S of n, and just don't get too scared with the S of n. It's a letter in terms of a function, in terms of the letter n. So we know that the formula calls for n minus 2 times 180. So second step is substitute. Okay. So you put the 3,060 degrees in for S of n. And on the other side, you have n minus 2 times 180. Now, this is the beauty of math. It doesn't matter. Often there's various ways of doing it as long as you're consistent, right? What I do is I get rid of the 180 first. You see that 180 there? I don't want it. So instead of distributing, I just go divide it by 180. So I'm going to actually write the 180 in a different color, right, to just highlight that. Okay. And the 180, you know how we always say cancels out? That's the way we talk about it, but it divides out technically, but it's still, I'm going to still talk about canceling out because 180 and 180 is 1. That's really what's happening here. So let's cancel that, and then we get 3,060 on the other side. That gives us 17. is equal to n minus 2. And I will just keep the n here and bring the 2 over. So it's 17 plus 2 is equal to n. N is equal to 19. Therefore, 19 sides. So this is one where it's just a sum, right? Next example, polygon has exterior angles. Hold on. Oh yeah. Polygon has exterior angles of, and I'm going to state them underneath so that they're visible here. 41 degrees, 47 degrees, 2 angles of 43 degrees, and 42 degrees. This is supposed to be 43 degrees here. A, determine the value of the 8th angle. And B, is this a regular polygon? The AC kind of gave that one away, but I'm still going to add that. Explain. So for A, if it's asking for the 8th, the last angle, then n is equal to 8, right? Sum of an 8-sided polygon would be 8 minus 2 times 180. So that's 6 times 180. It's 1080 degrees. That's important to me. So the 8th angle, which we will call x, right, will be 1080 minus, I'll just state the ones. I will go 2 times 43 like this. Oh wait, sorry guys. Yeah, it's exterior angles. Do you notice this? And hopefully this just saved you from a mistake on a test. These are all exterior angles. What is this telling me? The sum of all interior angles, right? So teacher, wakey, wakey, right? So it's easy fix. It's an easy fix. Watch. I'm going to replace this with some of your mumbling and under your mouse and messing up my notes. What goes here? 360. Thank you. Exterior angles, right? sum is equal to 360. Right? So this would have been the case if they gave you a bunch of interior angles. I'm giving you exterior angles. Okay. So you need to use the 360 here. Okay. Can you imagine after the break? I'm gonna have to really work hard at getting that right. So it's 360 minus, it ends up being 305 for all these negatives. So x is equal to 55 degrees. This is the 8th exterior angle. Good thing I caught it though, because that would have been wrong. Okay, I'll give you one more here. Oh, we have to answer the B part. So I'll do that on the back side. Is this a regular polygon? Explain. B, it is irregular, comma, since all exterior angles must be the same. And I know you're saying, no, Mr. Dirksen, I thought you said all interior angles must be the same. But if all the interior angles are the same, all exteriors must be the same as well. I never said that because I don't want to overwhelm you with information, but you can reason and just, so there we go. That's it. And then can you try this one here? I don't want to make this too, okay, so this is what you do. Follow my lead here. Example, and then just graph this as best as you can. So it's almost like a ramp like this, and then we copy it underneath. Like that. So it's almost like a stretched out hexagon, right? Okay. So then we add this x plus 20, x plus 40. You need to be able to solve for x with pretty much anything we do. Just knowing what's true about those angles. I will tell you what I'll zoom in so you can see. So that is x plus 40 up here, x plus 60, x plus 80 plus 100, x, and then x plus 20. So if I gave you something like that and I said solve for x, would you be able to do it? You should be, right? Just write it down first, copy it, have it. Always think, what do I know about all of those angles? Like before it was like, oh, these two are corresponding. I know they're equal, right? These are consecutive interior. I know they add up to 180. Now we're looking at interior angles of a hexagon, right? What do we know about the sum of interior angles? 720, you remember, or n minus 2 times 180, right? Okay, so I'm going to zoom out. Because this can be applied to any shape, I'm actually going to use the formula, not just 720, right? N is equal to 6. It's irregular, by the way. Just make a note of that because it's stretched out, right? The sides are not all the same. Sum of 6 would be 6 minus 2 times 180, and that is 720 degrees. Sum of interior angles. And so I know that if I take x plus 40, I don't need brackets because all of them are being added. So I'm going to omit. I'm just going around in circles, clockwise. So 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Yeah, that all is supposed to add up to 720. It works the same with a triangle, with a quadrilateral, doesn't matter, right? Same step. So I'm going to just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 x's. And then I add up 40 and 60 is 100, 180, 280, 300 is equal to 720. I'm just going to double check here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 x's, yeah. And then it's 6x is equal to 720 minus 300. 6x is equal to 420. Bad number to pick, right? Don't pick 420. Used to be a thing, right? And then we'll divide, so that'll be what, 70? And then we have, yeah, we'll just leave it at x. I could ask you to find the all angles all around, but x is 70, and then you just plug in everywhere and find the rest. So that's that. And this would also be, it's irregular because of the sides, but also if you plug in, this is 70, this is 90, and so forth, they're all different, so it'd be irregular. In fact, they could all be the same except for one, it fails, right? It fails the test. It could all sides be the same except for one, it fails the test. So that's that. Okay. I'm gonna just say, go back to the booklet. And some of you asked for the key, which means you did this, you tried it. That's, it's very important. You'll only learn math by listening to math, right? That's what I always keep on saying. Okay, no, I know I'm being sarcastic here, right? Do the math. Do the math. I might be the only teacher saying that, but I will keep saying that. It's true. If you finish the whole thing and you want to start getting ready for the test, there are still a few things that you cannot do. But if you want to get a head start, I will go through more of this booklet yet. There are a few questions in here that I want to do with you. But there's a practice test at the end. Let's just see. And page 35. Practice test. There's a mental math called practice test. That you should be able to do already. You should be able to do that one. Without any polygon. Well, there's some polygon, but you should be able to do all of that. Okay. So what I want you to do is grab this booklet and just work through any questions you still need to do. Okay, for the rest of today's class. So start on page 24 if you need to. Always explain how you got something, because that is what it's going to be